I had been so hyped about the Even Realities G1 smart glasses. I watched loads of reviews, checked out every detail I could find, and I almost pre-ordered them as soon as they were available, but I held back because I wanted to watch a few more videos first. I finally ended up taking the plunge and I ordered them back in August, so it was like the 31st of August, I believe. And after almost 2 months of waiting, they finally arrived on October 22nd. So I put them on, and at first I thought they were pretty cool. Having a heads-up display right in front of me just felt really futuristic, so I decided to wear them for the next 24 hours straight to just really see how they fit into my everyday life. But after only a couple of hours, I started noticing some pretty big limitations. For one, as smart glasses, I wouldn't say that they're everyday wear if you're trying to have as much functionality as possible. And it wasn't just one thing that led me to this, it was just a growing list of quirks and limitations that just made them less impressive the longer I wore them. So don't get me wrong, there are some things that I genuinely think are great about these glasses, but as an everyday wearable, they just fall short in ways that are honestly just disappointing. And that was the part that surprised me the most, because after watching all those reviews, I just got the impression that they could do more and be more, and genuinely just be a lot more practical. But here I was, a couple of hours in, and I was already asking myself, is that it? So in this video, I'm going to break down what's good, what's not so good, and the one feature that I actually bought it for that really did end up disappointing me in the end. But I'll come on to that in a little while. I really wanted to love these glasses, but after a couple of hours, like I said, I was just left wondering what I kind of spent my money on. So I paid 814 euros, which was about £678 or $881. Normally they're $599, but because I'm in the UK, it seemed to be a lot more expensive. And because I also got the clip as well, that added an extra $100 or so onto it as well. So if you were going to buy them with the glasses and the clip, it would cost you in the US $699, but in total for everything I paid about $881. So for that price, the Even Realities G1s for me just aren't worth that much in their current state. Plus, if I were to add my prescriptions into the glasses as well, then it just would have bumped up the price. And I didn't add my prescription because I wasn't sure if I was going to end up using them all that much, because I do wear normal glasses, but I just wasn't sure whether they were going to be ones that I would wear all the time. And then I didn't want to be restricted in whether I could sell them or not. So I have the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, and I know that they are completely different glasses and they're probably aimed at different people as well. But given the price of the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, which are almost half the price of the Even Realities G1 glasses, they're so much more functional as an everyday piece of eyewear. Hey, Meta. And so this is the other thing that I had in my mind as well when I was using these glasses. So the thing that sets them apart from the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses is the technology behind them, because unlike the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, these have a heads-up display. So it is really cool how it works, because you basically have these two mini projectors to display the text in front of you. So it's not directly in your vision, it's kind of projected out in front, so you're not kind of looking at it up close like someone's holding a book right up to your eyes. So it is projected out into distance, which is very cool. And all you have to do to make it appear is just kind of tilt your head, and then you can see the text out in front of you. In terms of customizing the display, you can adjust the height so that it's positioned within the glasses where you want it to be, and then you can also adjust the brightness, and you can also adjust how much you have to tilt your head to actually make the display appear. So I was seeing a lot of people in videos like really tilting their head up, and I wanted to know if there was a setting in the app that would actually allow you to reduce that, so you only had to maybe just flick your head up. So this at the moment for me is off, and if I just lift my head like this and I can see it, it kind of just looks more natural. I don't look so strange when I'm out and about as well. But other than that, the customization is really limited. So the dashboard has the date and time, it has the temperature outside, you can display your calendar event, so whatever event is coming up next will be displayed there as well. And you also have quick notes, which I'll get onto in a little while. And there's also notifications as well. So there's a little notification icon which tells you how many notifications you've got, and then you can cycle through them when you're ready. But in terms of the dashboard, that's pretty much it. So there isn't even a battery level indicator, so you can't actually see how much juice you've got left on the glasses, which seems a bit strange unless you go into the phone app. But as I mentioned, there is also a quick notes feature, which is actually very useful, and it basically works by allowing you to dictate up to 30 seconds of text, and then the Even Realities AI is going to summarize everything that you've said and output it into a quick note that is basically summarized. But even though you've just got that summary from the recording, it does also store the original note that it dictated, so you've got the long version of what you actually said as well as an actual recording of what you said as well. So the summary is just so that you can quickly see it in the dashboard of your display of the glasses, and then when you go into the app, then you can see the longer note that you recorded with the glasses. You can also just go ahead and just write the notes in the app as well, and then you can also pin those to the display. But here's the thing, because you can't actually scroll the notes through the glasses, you would have to go back into the phone app for you to see a note if it was very long. So if you wrote out something that was longer than it would be displayed in the glasses, then you wouldn't actually be able to scroll that text. You can only scroll through several different notes, so you have to again pull out your phone to see the rest of the text in that note. And for me, that kind of just again defeats the purpose of having smart glasses, because I then have to still go into my pocket to take my phone out anyway. But what I will say though is it is great for quick reminders. So if you have something that you just need to remember whilst you're popping out, or you're going to the supermarket and you have a few things that you need to get, then you can put it in the display and then you can see it. And I found it useful in that scenario. So as I've mentioned, the whole notion about being hands-free doesn't really work with these glasses, because one of its major drawbacks is that you have to use the awkwardly positioned touchpads on the arms for carrying out your commands. So for example, to dictate a quick note, you need to press and hold the right touchpad until you've actually finished dictating that note, which can be annoying. The touchpads can also be quite clumsy because they don't always register your taps. So when trying to cycle through notifications, I often found myself tapping multiple times, only for the display to then just switch off. So it is quite cumbersome, and I think that's just based on the positioning of the pads, which is kind of behind here. And so it would have been nicer if there was, like the Ray-Ban Metas, you could use the side of the glasses here to perhaps do the commands. It feels more stable in that respect. And so the other thing is that you can see incoming calls, they pop up on the glasses, but because there's no way to actually have a conversation through the glasses, there's no audio capabilities in that respect, and having speakers, you can't answer those phone calls like you can with the Ray-Ban Metas. And so you're still having to take your phone out of your pocket to actually answer the phone. And I feel like that was a really big missed opportunity, because again, it just comes back to that whole hands-free capability. So when I was initially looking at these glasses, and one of the features in particular, I thought they'd be great for content creation, and I was really excited to use them whilst making my videos. But they do have a drawback to wearing them, because anyone standing in front of you can see the little squares where the projectors are, and when the text comes up into the projector, then sometimes you can see the green from the text as well, which looks kind of odd. So if someone's looking at you, they can see that the glasses aren't really just normal glasses, which, you know, it's not a big deal. But whilst you're making a video, having that constantly popping up in the screen is very distracting. When I was watching my videos back when I was wearing the glasses, I just found it really annoying. And so that's one of the reasons why I actually wouldn't wear it whilst I was creating videos. Obviously I'm doing it for this so that you can see, but I wouldn't wear them again whilst I'm creating my videos, which is a real shame, because the biggest reason that I wanted to get the glasses was for the teleprompter feature, which is awesome technology, but is so flawed because it just doesn't look natural whilst you're using it. The teleprompter works brilliantly from a voice control perspective. I think it's amazing, especially if you were doing public speaking in a large conference, perhaps where people weren't right in front of you, because anyone looking at you would notice that something was off because it looks too obvious that you're reading something. If you try and counter this by moving around to make it look more natural, which still doesn't work by the way, as soon as you start to move around, it's hard to actually read the text without really concentrating because the display moves with your head movements. But one thing you could potentially do to kind of get around this is have bullet points instead of just having a full script. So you could have bullet points, you could read the first bullet point, which kind of jogs your memory as to what you actually want to say, and then just carry on about your business, talking about whatever it is you want to talk about, and then just move on to the next bullet point. So in that respect, it could work well. Haven't really tried it out. Maybe I will do when I go and do another public speaking event. But for content creators where you're shooting a talking head and relatively close to the camera, they're unusable. There's no way to adjust the width of the text like on a traditional teleprompter so that your eyes move less and make it less obvious, basically. But this is something that I think is achievable via a software update. The other thing that I tried, because I got the clips where you can transform them into sunglasses, was to put those on and see if I was out and about vlogging, if it was less obvious, but you can still see my eyes very obviously moving. Whilst I'm on the subject of the clips as well, there's nowhere to actually easily store them whilst you're not using them without them actually being attached to the glasses. So if I want to take the glasses off and then put them back in the case, I have to fiddle with putting the clip on first, then taking the clip off when I want to put the glasses on if I don't want to wear them as sunglasses. It's a minor inconvenience, but in that respect, the case just wasn't thoughtfully designed, especially given that you can't easily keep the cleaning cloth inside the case as well. The case isn't just a case though, it also charges the glasses, and the glasses do hold their charge very well, and as long as the case has some juice, then they'll keep the glasses topped up. But like I said earlier, the only way that you know how much battery life the glasses have is by going into the app, because you can't actually see that on the display of the glasses. There are two more features as well that I thought were quite interesting. The first one is translations, and you can translate voice into several different languages. I figured I'd do French because I speak French, and so I'd have an idea whether the translation was accurate or not. And I was actually pleasantly surprised at how accurately it translated the text, but also how accurately it transcribed the text, the words that I was saying in French. So when you tilt your head up, you can see what was originally said, and then directly in front of you, you can see the translation in the glasses. Je sais comment parler en français, mais ça fait quelques années que j'ai besoin de parler couramment, donc il y a beaucoup que j'ai déjà oublié. It is quite slow though, but I believe that the speed of the translations can be improved when you buy the Translate Pro. So the translations are more real time, and apparently the translations are more accurate as well. There's a free 1 hour trial, but after that you have to buy it, which kind of sucks because the glasses already are quite expensive, and so I don't know how I feel about that model of having to buy time to translate the text. But the other thing with this is that because there's no way to trigger the translations by the touchpads on the glasses, you have to actually go into the Even Realities app to engage the translation. So if you're out and about and you're in a foreign country and you hear something and you quickly want to engage the translation, you have to get your phone out, you have to go to the translation bit in the app and then select the language, which you would have to do anyway, I guess. But there's just no quicker way to do this by just using the touchpads on the glasses, which seems like again, another missed opportunity. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that could just be done via a software update. It seems like it could be. The second feature that I thought could be useful was the navigations, and I'm going to go out and fully test this, and if I get a chance to do that before this video, I will put in my thoughts about that. But the first thing that I noticed when I went into the app is I went to tap the map because I saw a landmark that I wanted to have as my destination. And so I tapped the map, but it didn't do anything. So I feel like having that, I mean, this is again just a very small thing that I noticed, but it was something that I instinctively immediately did, and I couldn't do that with the app. So like I said, for the majority of people, I think that these glasses are very limited, and I was very tempted to sell them, but I'm very keen to see how Even Realities updates these in the future and to see what kind of software updates come to the glasses. So I'm going to hold on to them. But if you are thinking these aren't going to be for you, but you do actually want a pair of smart glasses, then I really do recommend trying out or having a look at the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. And I've done a review on those, which you can check out here.